Welcome back to another episode of the Florida Retirement Podcast. I'm Kacey, and I am here with financial advisor Murrell Winter, founder of SWAN Retirement Strategies in Sarasota. Murrell, great to see you as always.
Yes, ma'am. Great to see you.
I am always excited to chat with you and to help more people navigate the ins and the outs of retirement planning in the Sunshine State. Remember, if you're listening, you can connect with us anytime. SwanStrategies.com is where to find us, or all the info you need is always posted in our show notes for you. So, Murrell, seeing as this is the Florida Retirement Podcast, I wanted to dive in today on the DROP program and how it can benefit state employees. Does that sound good?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, I've heard a lot of employees talk about DROP, but many are still unsure about what it might actually entail. So let's start with the basics here. What exactly is the Florida DROP program and who is eligible for it?
Yep. So here in the state of Florida, you can understand that the state of Florida and all the counties that are involved, all the local governments, they're pretty much the largest employer here in the state of Florida. And actually, just about 2 hours ago, I got a phone call from a lady that wanted to know, hey, I'm in the DROP program, but what does that really mean? Mm-hmm. So really, it comes down to anybody that's state, county, local government that maybe is first responder, like a law enforcement, firefighter, school teacher, county employee. That's pretty much the majority of people that are in the FRS, the Florida Retirement System. And so those are the people that are eligible for the DROP program.
Okay. And what exactly does it entail?
So when it comes to the DROP program, we have to understand that when you are working a long time for this employer, whether it's the county, the state, local government, you are working for a retirement benefit. And that retirement benefit is actually lifetime income. So if you devote 20 years, 25, 30 years to this career and you're in the pension plan, the state of Florida is then going to send you a pension check, so a monthly income stream for the rest of your life. So they've got you covered. And that is a great retirement plan because most employers nowadays do not have any type of pension plan. So keeping in mind that pension plan is what you're working for. And then we're going to go into the DROP program and how that is an extra benefit for everyone.
Okay, so that sounds like a great option for state employees. So how does DROP benefit these state employees compared to traditional retirement plans that traditional workers may have?
So ever since the 1970s, where most employers started going towards this 401k plan, where instead of the employers providing a benefit, the employers are now putting all the risk and the due diligence on the employees to make them have a great retirement. The DROP program and how that's such a huge benefit for so many people is if you work for this local, state, county government and you work a very long time, what you're working towards is a retirement benefit, which is called a pension. So that pension plan is a monthly income stream for the rest of your life. Now, the DROP program, how that's just an extra cherry on top is that you can now decide, hey, I've worked 30 years in the state or county or local government realm, and now I'm going to retire from that pension plan and go into the DROP program. When people hear retirement, they get fearful because they're like, hey, I don't want to quit my job entirely, right? So they are just finishing the pension plan and moving into the DROP program. And that DROP program is a way for 5 years, 8 years, however long people want to stay in that DROP program. That pension check, the lifetime income stream, is going to accumulate in that DROP bucket and provide you a lump sum right before you officially retire.
Okay, well, that sounds like a win-win for employees. Not only do they get to continue earning an income, but they also have a structured way to build up their retirement funds. Now, Murrell, can you walk us through how DROP works from enrollment to payout? Talk to me about the process here.
So when people are deciding to enroll into the DROP program, they really have to talk with HR and the retirement benefits department to decide, hey, have I worked long enough for this employer to be able to qualify to go into the DROP program? If they say yes, then you can go ahead and enroll in that DROP program, and that starts the clock that every single month for 5 to 8 years, depending on how long you want to work, that DROP bucket is now going to accumulate in size and dollar amount so that when you retire, not only will you have that lifetime income, but you're now going to have that lump sum, which is the DROP program. And another great benefit is that DROP bucket is earning 4% per year while you're in that DROP program. So keeping that in mind, that's a great benefit for those people that qualify for the DROP program.
Okay, that makes sense. So it seems like proper timing and planning are really essential when the time comes on deciding to enroll in the DROP program. Now, speaking of planning, what are the tax implications of DROP payouts? Because I imagine that this is something employees should be very mindful of.
Yes. So when it comes to retirement money, you really want to focus first and foremost, what's the tax implications on this money? So when you are in the DROP program and you're looking at finishing the DROP program soon, you then want to decide, two options. So one is you can then move all that money from the drop program to your own retirement account. And that is going to be a tax-free transfer, meaning that there's not going to be any taxes or penalties, which is what we highly recommend. Number two, and what some people choose, which is not a good idea, they will see this big drop money and they will decide, hey, I want to go ahead and cash that in and move it to my bank account. That's called the I Love Uncle Sam plan, because you're going to pay the most amount of taxes in that year because you took, $100, $500, $1 million out of that retirement plan and causing taxes all in 1 year.
Well, that's really important for people to understand, because a large payout, it might sound great, but without the right tax strategy, it could obviously end up costing more than you expected. You do not want to do the I Love Uncle Sam plan.
That's right.
Now, Murrell, have you seen any success stories come through your office where drops significantly enhance someone's retirement?
Yes. So the drop program changes lives every single day. So when you're in this drop program, you are now accumulating this big lump sum of money that you can decide how you want to handle it. And so it's a very good lifesaver for people that are going into retirement. And they have really three big ideas that they can do with that money. Number one, they can create more income from it. So if they decide, hey, I have my pension income, I have my Social Security coming in, but I'd really like to have some extra income, they can use their drop money when well invested. They can create income streams from that so that now they have increased income for the rest of their life. That's the number one most beneficial thing that people can do. Number two is simply if they want to grow that balance. So let's say someone retires from the drop program and they have $500,000 in their retirement account. Well, now they can focus on, hey, let's grow this money to be able to provide more of a budget down the road for vacations and leisure and travel, right? So that's number two. Number three is significantly enhancing their legacy. So if they wanted to decide, hey, I've got my guaranteed income from the state of Florida, I've got my Social Security, maybe I have an inheritance or some big nest egg already. Maybe this drop money is something that I leave for the children or grandchildren. And so all three of those goals, income, growth, or legacy, are truly what we love helping our clients decide on.
Yeah, it's inspiring to hear how people can use drop not to just retire comfortably, but to really take control of their financial futures in a truly meaningful way. Now, before I let you go, Murrell, how do you see drop evolving in the next decade? What should participants be watching for when it comes to this program?
So the drop program actually originated back in July 1st of 2000. So it's coming up on 25-year anniversary. And what that means is that it's been around for a very long time. You need to understand that the dot-com bubble of 2001, where the market crashed, the financial crisis of 2008, those were huge events that for any retirement plan could put a huge strain on. But this FRS, pension plan, investment plan, drop program have been very strong and sturdy over the past 25 years. I don't see any changes happening in the future because it is such a well-ran program. What I would like to mention is that if you or anyone that you know works for the FRS, so the Florida Retirement System, which is state, local, county employees, you need to know this message. New employees that are now being hired are defaulted into the investment plan instead of being defaulted into the pension plan. So if you truly care about anybody that works for the FRS and they're pretty early on in their career, please share this video or send them this audio. So they need to be well informed that maybe they started out and was defaulted into the investment plan when the pension plan might be a better solution for them. So those are the two things that I wanted to share when it comes to participants understanding about the drop program, the next decade of what happens to the drop program. Again, I don't see any changes going on, maybe even positive changes in the future.
Okay. Well, Murrell, I think this has all been great advice. With any retirement plan, staying informed, staying proactive, both of those are key. And of course, incorporating the help of a financial professional like yourself and the team at SWAN sooner rather than later in your retirement journey. So, Murrell, if someone's tuned in today and they're ready to get that retirement conversation started, what should they do? How can they get in touch with SWAN Strategies?
Absolutely. So when it comes to connecting with our firm, you really have multiple ways that you can contact us. So number one, if you want to go to the link in the description that shows our calendar, you can actually find a time that works well for you and select a time for us to meet either in person or over a Zoom call or even a phone call. The other way is really you could just give us a direct phone call at 941-271-9005, or you could email me directly, Murrell@swanstrategies.com.
And you can always go to swanstrategies.com for all the resources that you need to get started with Murrell and his incredible team. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Florida Retirement Podcast. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Murrell.
Thank you.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisory services offered through Second Half Partners LLC and SEC registered investment advisor number 163454. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Second Half Partners LLC is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and/or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Murrell Winter, FL NPN 19081242.